Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. I'm going to go to ibankcoin.com, where they're highlighting the fact that AI really is taking over large sections of not just blue collar or not just low wage work, but also some of the high wage work that's really played a pivotal role in keeping the economy, or the farce that the economy is good, going. And that's going to come to a very bitter halt within the next 5 years. It's going to start to, the brakes are going to come on, they're going to come on fast. And former Citi CEO Vikram Pandit recently just said within the next 5 years, AI is going to replace 30% of banking jobs. That's in the next 5 years. You're talking about 30%. That's enormous. That's enormous. This is what I've been warning about for a very, very long time. We've been kicking the can down the road with regards to the type of structure that we use to basically live together as human beings. It's all centered around money, or the ability to translate labor to wealth. And the problem is, now that human labor is fast becoming obsolete, what is going to bridge that gap, or what are people going to do to be able to make a living if we continue down this road of using money as the engine to keep society going? Because, see, that's just not going to work in this current, or this new blueprint that seems to be coming about. And that's why you see a lot of people out there discussing a universal basic income, because the powers that shouldn't be don't want to give up the control that they wield and the wealth that they've stolen over the years, and the control that they have and the property that they have under the current construct, because by God, they've worked really hard to rape and pillage you, and they're not going to go without a fight. But AI is fast going to make the necessity for change ever more important. It says here, former Citigroup CEO Vikram Pandit predicts up to 30% of back office banking jobs could disappear in the next 5 years due to development in artificial intelligence and robotics. Let me stop there for a second, because there's a Wall Street CEO right now that's spending millions of dollars to develop AI that's modeled after his own brain, so that when he retires, his company can be run by the AI CEO that he's designing that will think exactly like he thinks, so that there is never an issue. The AI is going to handle things. It's going to deal strictly logically. It's going to think the way this guy thinks. It's going to make decisions based on this guy's decisions and patterns. And believe me, these algorithms can figure this out. It's not hard. Now that you're phasing CEOs out, right? Because these machines are going to make the best bosses, if you will. They make the most profitable decisions for shareholders and stakeholders. Then everybody's going to be a slave to the machine. It's already happened. See, it doesn't need to be Terminator where they're and killing everybody. No, it doesn't have to be that way. The machines can take over simply because they're much more efficient at what they do, and more CEOs are going to put this type of stuff, and more board of directors and more shareholders are going to demand this as the technology advances, because there's more money to be made for them by putting these AIs in place. Much like $15 an hour. McDonald's workers want $15 an hour. McDonald's isn't going to pay you $15 an hour. McDonald's is going to buy an AI kiosk that's you're going to go up, you're going to press what you want, or maybe it'll ask you, I don't know. And when it's all said and done, you swipe your card, you put the chip in, whatever the heck it is, and guess what? You get your food with no human interaction. You know, and that's just AI. We haven't even begun to discuss the fact that they're making leaps and bounds progress with regards to matter to energy conversion and creating basic food out of carbon dioxide. All of these things that can really, truly transform the way humans live. And this could be a freaking huge win for humanity if we just did it right. And where that comes in is once you free society and humanity from money, and people are allowed to focus on the things they want to focus, they're allowed to pursue their dreams, to develop the way that they want to. Why? You don't have to go to work a 9 to 5 because the AI's taking care of it. You want to go eat some food? Go to a food replicator. Get yourself something to eat. You don't have to worry about farming anymore because energy to matter conversion can take care of all that. This is the technology that we're facing here. This isn't Star Trek in the 25th century. This is coming within the next 30 to 50 years. This is huge, a huge change for humanity. So when Mr. Pandit goes ahead and makes this warning, this is actually one of those duh type of warnings. This isn't a, oh, wow, you kidding me, 30%? I'd say he's kind of lowballing. The more that they can put this AI in place as it becomes more affordable, the more they're going to do it. You know, this is exactly what is going to happen. You know, and this is how we really have to face this. It's unbelievable. It says in Singapore during an interview, Pandit said, everything that happens with artificial intelligence, robotics, and natural language, all of that is going to make processes easier. Adding, it's going to change the back office. It's going to change the front office. It's going to change everything. It says, the prediction's bad news for back office employees. Banks have already begun to use AI and machine learning in a big way, from stock picking quants, such as those currently under development, and robo-advisors, which handle client portfolios, because they can make decisions faster than human beings. They can respond instantly to market changes. It's unbelievable. You realize that investing firms spend billions and billions of dollars for microseconds, for microsecond advantages over their competition. To be able to pull the trigger in microseconds could mean, maybe a half a cent a share. But when you're talking about millions and millions and millions of shares moving all the time, that microsecond is worth millions of dollars a month. And of course, they're going to go for it. Anything that would give them a competitive advantage, they're going to go for it. And that's really what's driving all this. This is according to TechEmergence.com. Manually reviewing 12,000 annual credit agreements requires about 360,000 hours. Think about that. 360,000 hours. Now you get an AI. Now you get an AI to do it. That can do that same agreement in a few seconds. Once you pay that initial front cost, you don't have to pay that thing a paycheck. You don't have to pay it benefits, health benefits, anything. You know what the health benefit? Oh, you need a new motherboard. Oh, hoop-de-doo. No big deal. So question, how are all these students coming out of college that want to be an investment banker, how are they now going to handle the $150,000, $200,000, $300,000 in debt that they have after they've come out of college and now there's no jobs? How do they do it? These are things that we have to face because this is the world that we live in and this is the reality that we've really brought about. And now there's some serious decisions that have to be made because if we do this wrong, it's not going to end well for humanity. And I got to tell you, the way that people defend the old way, well, this is the way it's always been, so that's the way it is. People don't know what it's always been like because to them, it's only been that way for as long as they live, but it's always been that way, so that's the way it's got to be. That's the power of propaganda and indoctrination. That's the power of the socialist system that was put in place in this country. well over 100 years ago. And that's firmly entrenched now. And we really need to break free of that programming, of that indoctrination, if you will, if we're going to be able to make ourselves free of this big mess that's coming down the road, this quagmire that we're going to be faced with. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day, everybody.